Hi guys, welcome back to my kitchen. So today I am making biscuits and gravy, but in a casserole form. So stay tuned and I will show you how.
Okay, so first things first is ingredients. So you're gonna need 2 pounds of pork sausage. This is pasture-raised pork from the whole hog we bought, 1 pound each. So I'm gonna double it and make 2 pounds. You're going to need buttermilk biscuits. You can make them from scratch if you want to, but I am feeling lazy today and these are delicious as well. So I'm gonna use 2 cans of these Grand's buttermilk biscuits. You're gonna need milk for the gravy, olive oil to cook your sausage in, salt, pepper, flour for thickening, and you're also going to need bacon. I'm gonna make bacon on the baking sheet in the oven because it's a lot easier and cleaner. So I have my cast iron skillet and my prepared, I usually put the parchment paper on top and then cook the bacon. That way it's easier cleanup and it's non-toxic versus using foil. So I'm gonna put that in the oven for 400 degrees, about 15 minutes, give or take, depending on the thickness of the bacon. Also depends on how many slices there are. So give it 15 to 20 minutes, but you really need to watch it because you don't want it to undercook or overcook, and that is telling me it is ready for the bacon. So I'm gonna put the bacon in and I'll be right back. So this is how I lay my bacon out on my baking sheet on top of the parchment paper, and I bake it like that. Get your cast iron skillet nice and hot and add a little bit of olive oil, and you're gonna start cooking your sausage. So just cook it and then start breaking it apart little by little. After it's fully cooked and you get your bacon out of the oven, you're gonna drain the fat, the bacon fat, into your sausage. Just trust me, it's gonna add loads of flavor. So you add that in and then you're gonna add some salt and pepper, just a little bit. Remember, you're using sausage, so it's already pretty flavored and pretty salty considering it's pork. And then I take 4 heaping tablespoons of flour and I put it in. You wanna cook it at least 2 to 3 minutes. Have the flour cook in there. It's gonna thicken it up, but that's exactly what you want, and you don't want it to be too thick. You want it at that consistency right there. The next thing I did was added my milk. So I added 2 cups at a time, and I'm just gonna mix it to make sure the milk can cook equally and slowly heat up on its own so it doesn't clump the flour. So you're gonna incorporate just a little stir, and at the end of that measuring cup, that is 2 cups of whole fat milk. You can use any milk you want. I choose whole fat because it makes the gravy more tasty and it's thicker and it has a little more sweetness since it has more fat in the milk. And then I go ahead and add my second 2 cups, and you're just gonna keep stirring. Do not stop stirring, just keep stirring. It'll thicken up. And I also turn up my heat to medium high, but you have to keep stirring it. Keep the meat moving, keep the milk moving, and then it's gonna thicken up really quick. Add some salt, about a teaspoon of salt. And then I added some pepper. You want lots of pepper. This gravy is known to have lots and lots of pepper in it. So I stood here for a while adding a ton of pepper, and then it's pretty much done. Your sausage gravy is pretty much complete. So after that, I added a sprinkle of seasoning salt. This is totally optional, but it does add a little pop of some other flavors. And then I'm gonna stir it all up, cook it for a few more minutes. That way the spices can bloom. And then I'm gonna turn it off and move it on the side and start layering my casserole dish. You'll need a 9 by 13 casserole dish. Pretty much the biggest one you have in your cabinet. And what I did was I sliced all of my little biscuits into quarters. So I took 2 of them, opened them up and cut them into quarters, and then I just layered them on the bottom of my casserole dish. That way they can cook equally, but when you're cutting into them, they're not giant pieces of bread. They're like little pieces of bread, so that way they come apart a little bit easier and they cook better this way. And I did grease my pan. I did put a little bit of olive oil to help with the crispifying of the bottom of the bread, and so it doesn't stick as well. So just continue, fill it all up, fill in all the spaces, and put all your biscuits at the bottom. and then stir up that gravy because it's been sitting for a while and you want to make sure everything is still equally distributed. Take your bacon, tear it all up. You can chop it if you want to and just spread it out. And then I took 2 cups of cheddar cheese and I just sprinkled it all over the top. That is grass-fed cheddar cheese from my favorite Costco. So just spread it all out. It'll help everything. It's like a glue to keep everything together. And then you're gonna put your gravy over that. Your sausage gravy is gonna cover the whole casserole. And then you're gonna wanna spread it out equally so that way all the biscuits and all the bacon and cheese is covered with sausage and gravy. And that's pretty much it, you guys. You just take it and cook it in your oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. And let me tell you, you're going to be so impressed with yourself after you make this. It's so good. It's like grandma cooked it, or like, I don't know, some amazing chef cooked it, because it's so good. It's so flavorful and creamy, and oh, it's so good, you guys. Pretty this looks, you guys. It's gorgeous. So this casserole makes a lot. You'll be able to feed a huge party, or maybe even 2 parties, or a big family. It is a lot of food. We ate it over one night. We took some for lunch the next day, my husband and I, and we still had a little bit left over. So there is a lot.
Okay, here we go. It looks and smells incredible. Oh my gosh. This is the bomb. Perfect amount of salt. The muffins are crispy on the bottom, but nice and fluffy at the same time. Or the biscuits, I should say. The gravy is creamy and thick. The cheese kind of brings it together. But this, you guys, oh my god, it's so good. Alright, you guys, that's it. Super simple, few steps. Put it in the dish and bake it. And it is so good, you guys. Rich and thick and flavorful, creamy, and oh my gosh, it's so good. So I'm gonna go and eat and finish my plate. Thank you for watching today. I hope that you consider leaving a like and subscribing because it helps our channel grow, right? I will see you guys on the next video. Ahoy ho.